So the big story of the day is Fed Chair Powell at Jackson Hole. Is he going to pump or dump Bitcoin and the entire market? Let's discuss. I mean, think about this. 300 million accumulated within a matter of basically a week. This is by the whales and sharks. This does not even include, remember recently I just talked about some mysterious whale buying $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. This doesn't even include them. That $3 billion could be BlackRock, right? That's a true whale. But these whales and sharks also have accumulated a lot. I mean, this is all going behind the scenes. Again, if you're wondering why this is not pumping up Bitcoin's price, all behind the scenes OTC market will not be recorded on order books. No one really sees these. You'll never see this happen over Coinbase or anything. You just see massive outflows from these exchanges because they're selling it to them, but that's it. They're not done on the order book. If they were, prices would be much higher, right? But that's what it's all about. And everyone's preparing. Retail, whales, institutions, all preparing for the halving event. And, you know, for short term, if you want to know what's going on, well, what we're going through right now is very, very, very similar to the previous times when we broke above and then we kind of backtracked a little bit, right? And then we went above. We had to retest like this resistance / support. That's exactly what we did. And again, just like the previous times, this is like right before, you know, shortly before a halving event. And then afterwards, we go up and up and up to the moon, right? This is exactly the same time frame. So definitely exciting. Definitely excited to be in this space, even though every day seems like it's boring, right? But when it starts moving, you go forget all this. You know, I don't remember the boring days of 2020. I don't remember boring days of 2019 or 18, right? Or even 16 or 14. I don't remember the boring days. What I remember are the parabolic runs and how much these crypto appreciated during those months, right? That's what I remember. And it'll be the same thing for you guys. You're not going to remember these days in the future. You're just going to remember how much money you made in 2024 and especially in 2025. Capital thinks that Bitcoin, after this next parabolic rise up, is going to be at $150,000, right? That's very, very conservative, actually. Very conservative. In case you're not familiar with the halving event, I think almost everyone watching is. But the reason why Bitcoin is considered the best asset that we have is because there's a finite supply, first of all, and the inflation rate of Bitcoin gets cut in half every 4 years. So less and less and less and less of it gets released every 4 years until there is no more that is released, right? So in 2012, you had 25 being released per block. Then it went down to 12.5, and then 6.25, which is currently where we are now. And then after 2024, right, next year, 3.125. And then it starts going lower and lower. I mean, it's going to get into the point where miners pretty soon will only find less than 1 Bitcoin per block. You know, it is going to be a race, right? All-out war between the miners to get the very last few. We already mined over 93%. Everyone's fighting for the last few, right? And none of those miners are going to be selling any of it. So everyone that's buying and selling and trading right now is all the existing Bitcoins out there. The new ones are all spoken for, and we'll never see those. It's all the ones that's been circulating, but the ones circulating, there's not that many either. Reserves keeps going down on all the exchanges. The long-term holders hold over 75% of the supply. And then that's not to mention that we have millions of Bitcoins lost in the early days. Hard drive crashes, you know, lost keys, whatever. So if you think about it, there's really very, very, very little out there, right? So that's why I said this prediction of 150,000 from Pantera is actually quite low. quite low. But you know what? If we get it, that's fine. Nothing to complain about. That's about roughly double of our previous high back in 2021, right? So they're predicting that this time around we're going to get a 2.3x off from the bottom, and then we get a 4.2x from that point to 150,000, right? And you can see the diminishing returns, obviously, right, from the previous cycles. I don't know. Maybe we go higher than 4.2x. Maybe this time around we get like a 5x or 6x instead. Or maybe we tie the last one at 7.8x. Who's to say we can't do that? And that will push Bitcoin well above $200,000, maybe around $250,000. This time around, even though there's diminishing returns, keep in mind, here's the catalyst, or here's the asterisk that makes it different. We never, ever, ever in previous cycles had, first of all, spot Bitcoin ETFs in America, and we never had big, gigantic powerhouses like BlackRock getting involved and causing everyone else to get FOMO too. So that's the thing. All the previous rallies were driven by retail investors and whales, but not the huge, gigantic institutions that are all looking to come in. So this time around, even though everyone's predicting, yes, we'll go higher, but because of diminishing returns, because everything is a higher value right now, right, that, you know, we can't possibly go at the same rate as before, but people are not calculating the trillions that could be flowing in from these big institutions. BlackRock alone holds over $9 trillion of assets. Fidelity over $4 trillion worth of assets, right? What about Vanguard and all these others that want to jump in too? They hold trillions of assets. So what? My point is 150,000 is actually pretty conservative. This also shows the number of holders. Okay, all the pretty graphs, you know, different colors, right? Basically showing all these holders that are holding keeps on going higher and higher and higher, despite the fact that the price went down. You know, after we came down from 69,000, the number of holders actually went up. No one really sold. Maybe the newbies, the short-term investors that really don't understand sold, but everyone else actually just kept holding. And we're at an all-time high right now for a number of holders. So bottom line is, yeah, you just want to keep on holding. That's the key. That's the key when it comes to Bitcoin, and the key when it comes to any kind of investing. Just investing. You just want to hold, okay?